Well, you got two going.
Yeah. I'm gonna edit
one,
one
or do you have one
best
for
of
last
everything.
Well, let me
Just
see
if
if
you do have it,
Let's
if you don't
look.
have it, then
give me your left side.
thanks.
Give me your left side, turn around, let me see your left side. Okay, now your other side.
Sure.
No, the back, yeah, that's the best side. Maybe you should take it from behind.
Thank you. Maybe just turns around and faces the board.
I can.
You are live, so introduce yourself and welcome everyone.
The trouble is, they really need to do
Good morning,
the.
everybody. Some of you probably know me. I'm the lead trainer for Monday. My name is Ram Lohia. I've been here for almost last 5 to 6 months. This session is being recorded, so I have to be careful. But go ahead, do whatever you want to talk to me. We'll be going through certain rituals here, which is standard. We expect 18 people here. Why there are only 6? Maybe some reason. We will start with our 30-second commercial, and then I'll hand over to Mr. Mario, who is a very accomplished professional speaker. Now, I'm Ram Lohia. I've done masters in physics from one of the most beautiful places on this earth, Fargo, North Dakota. I worked for the same company.
Fargo, North Dakota?
Yes, ma'am. It's a wonderful place, no crime. I used to teach physics there. I have lovely memories.
You long underwear.
And I worked for the same company, Rockwell International, treated better than Kate Middleton and Prince Williams for almost 25 years. The company no longer exists, so I'm back into job market. But I'm not disappointed. In my previous job, I was able to save about 2 to 4% die per wafer, which is known as semiconductor, and it resulted in a saving of almost $10 million for top 10 products in the first year alone. I'm on LinkedIn. I'll be honored to share my contacts with you. Thank you very much. Now, before we go into 30-second commercial and wait, there are certain things. Mario, can you?
Yeah, I'm just kind of, people are coming and going, so I have to be that doorkeeper.
This is your show. I'm just a facilitator. I'm just like you. Certain things I will repeat throughout the course. Everybody has a skill set. You may be unemployed, but never say you are unemployed. Just say you are underemployed. You have a skill set. I'm not joking. Everybody has a skill set. At 10 o'clock, I'll be asking each one of you to do 2 things. I want to know your skill set, and I want to know, which is known as branding, whatever you call it. They'll be teaching you branding. Second is we have to form accountability group. So one of you will be president of the accountability group as soon as you come back from 10 o'clock. And generally the statistics show that person who becomes president and president pro tem and other, they land the job within first 4 weeks. So there is a motivation. You will meet at some place. All these things have to be done as soon as you come back from 10 o'clock. Very simple, I'll help you. So coming back to this point, everybody has a skill set. Like my skill set, even though I can call myself an engineer, it doesn't mean nothing. It's very broad. But I define myself as 6 Sigma quality analyst. I decided that. I may change it. So you have to come up with that word for you. Then always meet at least once a week in your accountability group. We will go through these. None of these things which we are going to show. This is a piece which has been approved by EDD, our board of directors, our training director. We have to go through some of these slides, but you can always interrupt us. There are 69 slides. We have to finish all of them by 12 o'clock. And then there is a question and session. We will be always here to answer your questions. After that, you will get EUI membership, and you will be invited, and you will go. It's a pretty good organization, by the way. run by volunteers. It is the most efficient organization, better than Southwest Airlines and General Electric, and unpaid. And you will also become part of this, and it runs smooth. It flows like a water, really. Very smooth organization. I'm not praising because I'm a member. Some of the people who have been here earlier, maybe you can attest, Carla, to my statement, correct? Yeah, I didn't buy her lunch, by the way, so far. Okay. Any questions on this before I hand over to Mario? He's our professional, accomplished orator person, and he will take you through 30-second commercial. Now, very important point about 30-second commercial. How many of you watch football? Not the football which is soccer, which was yesterday, the football of America. How many of you know football? Most of you, correct? The 30-second commercial,
Nobody.
No way.
Just one person.
just one word, doesn't matter. I'll give you a
If you ask for soccer, that would probably be more.
30-second commercial. The ad for 30-second commercial in 1984, what was the price approximately? Do you know the value, how much they pay to flash your 30-second commercial?
Oh, you mean
2
the
million?
television commercial?
Yeah.
In the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Oh.
2 million?
Oh, no, that,
9 million.
Yes. Yes. What about 2014, 2012?
12 million.
Pretty close. The price of in 1990 was approximately $1.1 million. In the last Super Bowl, it was $4.8 million. So your movement is $4.8 million when you do 30-second commercial. In Taipei, Taiwan, I have been to many countries on business and personal visit. In Taipei, Taiwan, it takes from first floor to 121st floor. Or ice elevator, same elevator which you rode here. It takes about 39 seconds to go from first floor to 102nd floor. You know why they do so fast? So that they can get their tobacco break, they can smoke cigarette and still be in time. So 30 seconds is very, very important. It doesn't mean that at 29 seconds there will be a bell ringing and you will say, wow, I have to stop. No. Nobody knows your script. Nobody knows my script. Be fearless, speak well, speak consistently, be natural. So I have given you 2 points about this. And third point is, I have given you the cost of your commercial, 30 seconds. And you are on this TV now, at this time. We will be flashing this in duct tape. Secondly, I have told you how much time it takes in elevator. And third point is, this training, some of you who might have gone through your company to write management of the group, they charge $8,500. And our training is the best of the best. And I'm giving you data, I'm not trying to praise, I'm not paid person for commercial advertisement. It is the place to get job. Any questions before I hand over to Mario? Yes?
Can I get one of the handouts, please?
Hmm?
Can I get one of the handouts, please?
Handout you have to print during the time. I was told that you will get the email and you will print at your own. But during the break you can go to EDD computer and you can, you got in the email, right?
I think so.
Yeah, they sent you email, our director of
I
training.
didn't have. any-
Pardon, ma'am?
I didn't have any printer ink.
Did you get, oh, you have printed?
No, I've already,
Thank you.
no, I'm just saying, I didn't have any printer ink at home, so.
Okay. There are 69 slides. We have to finish by 12 o'clock. Thank you very much. Mario?
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Monday morning. How's everybody feeling? First order of business, passing along rather than me doing a roll call because we're already behind, as often happens, we get started a few minutes late and then kind of snowballs from there. Please locate your name, just simply put a check on the left-hand side, just put a check for now, and then this will go around again when we have the full class, because it looks like we're still not full class, right? 3, 6, and 5, that's 11, right? You're too short? people drop out, and
Is it?
we'll know.
People on
There
it.
was a lot of people.
We'll know. It is the full class? Okay. In that case, maybe we're good to go around again, and the last column, I think, leaves for your email or something, maybe your cell numbers. That's up to you. As Ramesh was saying, this is the basis of forming an accountability group. I will do my 30-second introduction at first, but I think it's worthwhile going through this again. You've probably seen this slide on Friday, right? It is so dearly important, folks, because, you know, we're all professionals. We don't mean to preach and try to, you know, tell you to do's and don'ts. But listen, for the sake of this going smoothly, we at least attempting at starting on time, finishing on time, watching each other's back, being respectable to each other, and really accountable. This is the beginning of our accountability. We've got to go through these do's and don'ts and ask you to please keep these in mind. Cell phones. Let's all take our cell phones out, make sure they're on vibrate. Please, let's do that right now. We don't need phones ringing. Not those atomic rings. Especially those ones. The second order of business is we try to start at 8:30 every day and go to 1 p.m. I think Ramesh has some designs for us to finish early today, which would be good, right? Great, if we can finish early. Name tents, everybody's got those up, that's great. If you don't, blank ones in the back of the class, review standard of conduct. You're welcome to eat and drink like I'm doing right now in this classroom and any UI facility, 3 rooms we have in total, but please not inside the center. They will come and pick you out and ask you to either step out and do it outside or just to simply get rid of your items. So the tidiness also goes kind of without saying that we need you to kind of clean up the room after you go. Now, this is the room that you were here Friday and today Monday, but seeing tomorrow, the scene will change, the venue will change. So especially after today, please gather all your belongings. After tomorrow, that room is where you're gonna be for the rest of the week. So you're welcome to leave some stuff in there. I wouldn't recommend at least leaving valuables. So there you have it. Those are our do's and don'ts. We don't wanna put you to sleep too much over that. I'll go through all of that, today's agenda and all that. I think that the next slide here too, kind of we already went through it, so. Homework. Friday there was some homework assignments made, right? Correct? Just quick show of hands, everybody received the assignment, everybody completed it.
No.
First everybody received it.
No,
You did not receive the assignment. Were you late? Were you not here?
I mean, through the email, is that what this is?
The assignment that was,
Oh, no, I got it.
everybody received the assignment. We assigned to you, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Show of hands, please. And everybody who's completed it. That's okay.
Yes.
Be honest about it. Okay. Those who have completed, this is, again, peer professionals from one to another. We're volunteers. This is not some, you know, good old folk, you know, or old British style of headmaster. This is all about encouraging you, inspiring you, pleading with you to let's all push each other. Let's all do more and do some of these very valuable, as Ramesh was saying, there's some really valuable pieces of information. When you put it all together, this is worth thousands of dollars that you're receiving at no charge. So make the best of it. You know, we can only try to make the best of it, right? So those who have the assignments completed, let's take it from you at the end of the class. Please have it somewhere we don't forget, and then we'll ask for it. Those who don't, there's always tomorrow. So please, let's see if we can come back with those assignments completed for tomorrow. You know, some of this thing, you know, some of these slides, items are common sense. I mean, hopefully nobody's here in flip-flops and shorts and, you know, as if they're going to the beach. We really, the minute we get out of the house every day, try to be, look ourselves in the mirror, say, hey, you're a professional, you're worth something, you know, you succeed today, you'll have a very good day. It starts with whether we're, you know, physically and how we look up to the task or not, right? If we're gonna half asleep and we really don't feel like it and we're in pajamas and, you know, we're half sleepy and, you know, we kind of a little bit depressed, a little bit thoughts going in every which direction, we're not really setting ourselves up for success. Part of it is dress professionally. attending every day, and homework and preparations that we talked about. 30-second commercial, we're gonna get into it right away. Is everybody ready with the 30-second commercial? Show of hands, those who are really ready. Excellent, excellent, nice. Those who are not ready, let me know, do you already know what the 30-second commercial is? Hopefully they introduced it to you, right?
Yes.
People did the 30-second commercial. Everybody knows the concept behind 30-second commercial. Excellent, excellent. So, here's a snapshot of it, but I'll go back on this slide. And, good morning. My name is Mario Chardini.
Nice to meet you.
How are you?
Great.
I'm an electronic components marketing manager, and I help companies bring products to market on time and on budget. For example, at one of the companies that I used to work at, I was tasked with setting up a marketing campaign where we could quickly, before a competition, bring a particular piece of product to market. I managed the team, formed the team, managed the team, and was able to implement the time to market 20% faster than our nearest competitor who knew they were working on it as well. As a result, the company next year, the year after that, accomplished 40 and 50% higher margins and gross sales as a result of that. We were just first to the market. I'm extensively LinkedIn with connections, professional, purchasing, engineering, and I would love to share that with you. Who do you know at companies like Broadcom, like Qualcomm, like Western Digital, Conexon, who possibly are looking to rethink their marketing campaigns and bring on a marketing director who is tech savvy? Again, my name is Mario Chardini, and I'd love to connect with you on LinkedIn, and we can touch.
Great.
Thank you. That was an example of a 30-second commercial, face-to-face, zeroed in on one person. I could just as well done that with the entire group, right? I chose one individual to have an intimate setting, one-on-one, look him in the eye, have a close rapport built. How many are comfortable with the word rapport? Rapport. What is rapport, Betty?
You made it effective connection with the person, and you feel good about each other.
Excellent. That's a very good definition. Any other definitions of the word rapport?
Personal,
Pardon?
personal,
Personal? Yes. Yes.
making a connection.
Yes. Yes. All of them good answers. Yeah. So I was trying to build a rapport. I only have 30 seconds. 30 seconds, maybe 40 seconds is acceptable. 30 seconds, maybe 25 seconds is acceptable. But if 30 seconds is 3 minutes, you've probably gone overboard. You probably either tuned him out, bored himself and yourself, lost your train of thought, introduced some new concepts that really don't belong to 30-second connection, 30-second commercial. So let's talk about the elements of this 30-second commercial. We want to connect, first and foremost, as some of you already alluded to. The body language, that is ever so right. How do you feel? Let me ask you, how do you feel about the body language, the way I approached you, the kind of the gestures, hand, eye coordination, all of that?
It was great. I mean, you had a good eye contact. Voice was fine because it's one-on-one, so you were not projecting high or low, right? And then it looked like you wasn't rehearsed, right? You were taking enough pauses and thinking and just, a few seconds here and there, so it was great.
You said a couple of key words, thank you. Good observations. Since I was so close to him, this was a personal one-to-one. I tuned all of you guys out as if I'm just in the room with Mr. Gupta here. Okay, Gupta, right? Last name. What's your first name?
Raj.
Raj. I called you Mr. Gupta, that's the last name, okay? Raj.
Yes, I'm like,
I'll call everybody with their first
I was
name.
looking for my dad. I'm like,
You may call me by my first name, please do. My name is Mario Chardini. Let's do that old tradition of putting stuff on the board so you know who is talking to you. So my name is Mario Chardini, and my email, if at all interested, is my first name dot my last name at yahoo.com. Any questions, any comments, any obscenities? No, please. Throw them at me. I'd be happy to help. So he pointed out a couple of good, real important issues here. First, because I was in this personal space, yet not totally invading his space, just common sense, just enough of a distance, right? I had to adjust my voice. I couldn't be as loud as I am talking to you because I want Betty and Mary and Lily to also hear me. You hear me fine, right? I know myself, I know that I'm usually a little bit loud, so I adjusted that, right? And I also tried to not be monotone. I don't know if you picked up, towards halfway into my 30-second, I kind of slightly changed the voice, the tone, the volume, everything, purposely. We don't want to sound monotone and always like this, and just, there's no highs and lows. I'm just steady like this talking the whole time. I just don't have any other gears. After 5-10 minutes, you hear me like that, you'll go to sleep. So I go up and I come down. It also helps that I'm a very emotional person. So I bring my emotions, I wear them on my sleeves, and I present that way. I'm not saying that's the only way, that's just one of the ways. The language, the voice quality, that up and down does tend to help. Does tend to help not put someone to sleep. Because the other side is the content of what you present. If that content is rehearsed, if it sounds like it's not scripted, he mentioned something else that was important. It wasn't scripted. It sounded like at least I was trying to be natural. Maybe was I 100% successful? Maybe not. But it was natural, coming out very, I'm not trying to remember what I memorized last night or what I repeated to myself this morning. It's just kind of off the cuff, but in a managed way. Flow and length of time, very important. Okay, so we talked about all of those already. Any questions so far? Okay, so here's a cheat sheet of what will be on the screen for you guys all to look at. Cheat off of it if you want while doing your 30-second commercial. I will ask you to come and stand here so you'll have your back to it. You can stand at an angle like this and look at it. No problem. There's no issue. The only thing I would not advise is if you stand like this and read off of it. Okay, please don't do that. Now, we don't expect everybody to be perfect or even at the 90 or 85% level. Just try your best. How many people think that they really want to read off of what they wrote down as far as their 30-second commercial, off of a script written?
For today? Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. Do it for today, and starting tomorrow, try your best to really put your effort into it. And just, we try to make it bigger than it is. If you simplify it and try to at least start with a simplified version off the cuff, it's much better. Because just think about it. How does it really come across if out of the blue, I meet someone and I say, hey, how are you? My name is Mario Sciarvini, and I'm a marketing manager, and it just, because when you first meet somebody, you want to, really, that first impressions, right? The old saying. And if it looks like, if it is reading off a script, that first impression you may not get a chance to reform it. For our purposes, for today, being the first really crack at doing the 30-second commercial, it's okay. I also challenge you and highly encourage you to think about this. So you've got it written down, you're more comfortable reading from the script, but hopefully you've prepared, like you've gone over it, rehearsed, right? A few times. Just try to look at it, put it down, and eye contact, body language, proper relaxation techniques of whatever to how, just relax and kind of reset yourself and then speak it. All right, so are we ready to do it?
Of course.
Should we go around the table? Who wants to
They're all
volunteer?
excited.
Usually we ask for a
where's the
volunteer.
excitement? Has
Okay?
everybody had a coffee at least this morning?
I thought you were gonna buy some today.
No.
Oh.
Where's your thermos bottle?
It's at home. My wife uses it.
All right. Thank you, Bob. We always need him to perk us up and kick us in the shins and let us get energy to get going. Who is prepared? Who wants to go first? I know you probably are. Anybody else? Somebody else had their hands up.
Okay, I can.
You want to go? Okay. Anybody else that really is comfortable? We don't want to push you to... Okay. why don't you go first and Rajesh, you go second, okay? And then we will, eventually will come around to you.
Hello, my name is Vesna Nesik, and I am a pharmacovigilance executive and problem solver. I specialize in process improvement, in case processing and signaling. And for example, one organization needed to realign safety processes and procedures worldwide between their subsidiaries. And I created new processes, put in place some new procedures, authored training materials, and conducted trainings. Who do you know in, for instance, companies like Allergan or Peregrine or Avenir that needs to increase productivity and efficiency of their safety department? Sorry, I am on LinkedIn, and I would be happy to share my contacts with you. My name is Vesna Nesik, and I am a pharmacovigilance executive and problem solver. And I apologize, I actually forgot to mention here results. So, because I should say actually as a result of that, efficiency and productivity of their safety department increased for 25%.
Okay, well done. So round of applause, we always want to encourage ourselves and everybody, and then we quickly go around the room, ask everybody for a quick, now this is what I want to ask you to please be very kind of conscious of time, of each other's time, and of not going on a tangent. So what we want to do is a quick brainstorming as a group, starting with yourself, what do you think were the pluses and what you can improve on. You're probably the best person for that. Less than 30 seconds. Then also less than 30 seconds around the table, couple points each randomly, and then that's what we're going to do for everybody. So what do you think of yourself? What
Well,
was...
as I said, I forgot to mention here results,
Yeah.
and I kind of immediately picked it up, but
Yeah.
and I guess I'm still not quite relaxed, if I can say it like that, which probably can be told based on my body language. So.
Good. Anybody else?
I heard your name, but I couldn't hear what your position was, both times, on the beginning and at the end. It sort of ran together. You say it so quickly, it sort of runs together, and I don't understand what that position is, and so you need to speak out a little bit.
Okay, and I apologize, that
No,
may
it's okay.
probably be the case because I'm kind of aware of the time, so I was trying to make it shorter and shorter. I said pharmacovigilance executive and problem solver.
A what? Executive?
Pharmacovigilance.
Pharmacovigilance.
Wow, that's maybe why.
Vigilance.
That's a tough word. I'm going to look it up. No, just kidding.
Is that a hyphenated word?
I wrote it down.
Is there, could you use another, a more generic term, because
I
would know what it is.
I like to think I'm smart, but you got it.
because it's a very
And I watch Jeopardy too.
because it's a very industry narrowed kind of specific.
But on a broader scale, I mean.
Okay, drug safety, would that help?
That's much
There
better.
you go.
What he's alluding to, Vanya, is that the simpler you make it for the audience to understand, to quickly hear a digestible word that they've heard before, and they can remember and kind of relate to that, then the more chances are that you're helping your chances. Whereas use this sophisticated word that all of us who think we know English we still can't figure out, then that just think, would it stick with them?
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
perfect.
fine,
I think that would be
and
good.
I really
If
appreciate
you're,
it.
if you're at a medical conference,
Yes,
then you use pharma, what I don't know.
that's actually where I was kind of heading, and I probably
But-
have to be careful to adjust based on whom I'm speaking with.
Can you use it as a pharmaceutical? Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Pharmaceutical
general
industry?
pharmaceuticals,
No,
No.
that's too,
Generic.
It's up to you. We'll
Too
leave it up to
generic.
you, but it just all comes back to you want to connect with the audience. Listen, there could be people here from insurance, real estate, electronics. You know, there could be someone from your own medical and pharmaceutical whatnot. There could be someone from fertilizer business. Not everybody knows your pharmacy business, right?
That's
So
true.
you have to kind of judge to
And
see,
plus-
I
I may know somebody in the pharmacy business that could help you,
yeah.
but if I don't understand what you're doing, I'm not gonna talk to them about you.
Okay.
That's the issue.
Okay, actually, something you just kind of brought something to my mind. Recently, actually, I met socially a lady, and she was a physician. So I introduced myself and I said, "Oh, I am a drug safety professional." And she said, "Is there such thing as drug safety?" Because she was so
course there is.
professionally in.
Otherwise we'll all be
That
dead by
she
now,
really
you know, the drugs
understood
that.
that drug safety is
Unsafe.
actually obsolete term, and it's not really used anymore.
Oh,
Okay.
So pharmacovigilance has a quite different scope, and she was really, we started talking, and I said, well, you know, we really don't say any more drug safety, we basically say benefit and risk,
Okay.
because drugs have benefits and risk. So drug safety is a very old term.
All right.
Oxymoron.
So I'm gonna ask you to take a seat, please, thank you very much, because time is limited, each of us has to take their share. On the plus side, it was all good. You first one up, the confidence to show to come up here, the smile, the body language, you know, the room presence, all that was great. You don't have to apologize. You apologize like 3 times. There's no apology. What are you apologizing for? We're all learning this together. Whether you're 100% tip-top shape with this 30-second commercial or not, there's no apology. We're all learning, okay? You want to go next, Rajesh?
Sure.
Go for it. 30 seconds, please.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Great.
Great. My name is Raj Gupta. I'm a business development, sales and marketing executive with expertise in automotive, finance, and healthcare industry. I have successfully improved healthcare benefits administration companies' sales by 40% in 1 year. And by developing relationships with the various brokers and industry experts. Who do you know in Hyundai, Kia, who can benefit from an executive like myself? I have a vast network that I'll be happy to share with you. Once again, my name is Raj Gupta. I solve problems and sell your product.
Excellent, thank you. What do you think yourself, real quick?
There were a few things that I could have done better, but overall, I'm good.
You're good, yeah, I'm good. Love the confidence, I'm good.
But I don't want to hear Bob. No, I'm just kidding.
When you say, who do you know,
Yeah.
and then you add another disclaimer on it, you stop people from coming to talk to you. Because what you're saying is, who do you know at Hyundai or Kia
Right.
that I could contact? That I could contact. That when you say that needs a executive like me,
Right.
all of a sudden, all my contacts at Hyundai and Kia won't help you, so I don't talk to you.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying? You've
So-
taken it.
It's a selling point, yeah.
What you want is if you know somebody at Hyundai or Kia, even if they're a janitor, you'd like to at least talk to them.
Got it. Fair
You'd like them to come up and say, hey, I know Joe, you know, he does this. You know, could that help you?
Okay.
When you double classify it like that, all of a sudden, it's become a very limited opportunity that people won't even talk to you.
So what Bob is pointing to is an advanced critique of what you did so well that he has no choice but to kind of go advanced on you. And he's got a good point. See, the point, we don't want to leave anything out. We don't want to leave any possibilities out. All possibilities should be open and on the table. All right?
Because these are teasers.
Yeah.
These are teasers, you want people to talk to you afterwards. If you give them too much information, they put you in a box, and you're done.
Yes. Any other points about Rajesh's 30-second commercial? Good, bad, or ugly? No, we'll reserve the ugly for
I
it.
think Hyundai rhymes with Sunday.
Hyundai Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, rhyme time. Anything else? All right, who wants to go next? You volunteered for it, Mohammed? Go for it.
She wants to go? That's
Go
fine.
ahead.
Volunteers always come first. You're next, Mary.
Nervous.
No, that's fine. Everything is good.
Hello, I'm Mohammed Hassan, and I'm an experienced practice manager, healthcare practice manager. I've been doing that for a long time, and during my tenure, I developed marketing software and scheduling management software. And also, I did co-founded a outpatient medical clinic from scratch, and I did that. It was a solo practice. I grew it to a multi-medical group, and if you know somebody in the industries of such as St. Joseph, Hull, or St. Jude's, please let them know about me. And again, I'm Mohammed Hassan. I'm an experienced practice manager, and I'm in LinkedIn. Thank you.
Good, thank you. Stay up, please. No, that's fine. By the way, hold on to the thought for a second. 45 seconds, 55 seconds, it's all good. I'm just pointing these two, and I won't even point out the rest when you go up if it's under a minute. If it's over a minute, I'm going to call you out on it. Not during. We're not going to try and embarrass ourselves during. We let whoever's doing their 30-second commercial do it, even if it goes into a minute and a half, a minute, but then later I'll tell you on it. If you're under a minute, I'm not even going to mention it. That means you're borderline acceptable, because he's 55. Okay, what do you think yourself? What was missing? Key things that you know were missing.
Well, I had thought of the whole presentation thoroughly and nicely, but I think I got a little bit nervous. I don't know what happened.
That's okay. That's quite natural.
And some of the things that was missing was the last part I missed was I'm your healthcare practice manager. I think I missed that line.
Anybody else? Observation? Yes, sir. There.
When you say healthcare practice manager,
You are, sir.
that sounds very vague to me. Do you understand?
Are you an office manager? Are you a?
Yes,
do
I'm a-
you work with
If you just
physicians
said
to
if you just
improve
said
their-
manager and didn't say anything else, that would be much clearer.
No,
But a manager could be in any industry, so I was trying to specify
I hear
what
you.
industry.
I don't
But what-
understand what the
One at a time.
position is that you're looking for. I know it's manager, but I don't know what kind of a manager.
Practice manager.
But what is a practice
It
manager?
is a person who manages physicians.
Ah.
Okay.
See, I didn't know that.
All right. Yeah. So that's fine.
She's seconding my.
Yeah.
I'm from the medical industry and I didn't get it either.
Well,
All right. So let's not dwell on that too much. It is something that, again, there's unfamiliarity with it, just like the previous presenter that Bob pointed out. We want to try and make it a little bit more broad in that when there's a broad spectrum of people, diversified team sitting here, not necessarily from your background, they can relate to you right away. So we want to kind of present ourselves as a bit of a generalist. If you knew everybody in this room is from the medical field and is familiar with that term, then yeah, yes, Betty.
well, I know what Effie had described what he did in the ORs. Like at my last company, I did such and such and such for 50 physicians.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Right, he could have put something into the ORs
Wow,
that would have clarified.
thanks, Betty. Yeah, good point.
You were very calm up there, and your voice was good. When you put your hands like this the whole time, it's better if you open yourself a little bit. Having it like this, shows that you're. And then when you were thinking, a lot of times you closed your eyes, so it's like you're reading your cue card up in your eyelids.
By the
Well,
way,
if
these
you
kind of
just-
critiques, don't take them with a grain of salt, because this is
Oh,
advanced
definitely.
critique.
Yeah, I know.
So everything else is good about it. Professional setting, is volunteering, which is always hard to do. So these things will come with time, right? What he's saying is absolutely advanced critique of body language, gesture, the unspoken words, the language that we speak and the language that we don't speak, and our body speaks it. That's all important. He mentioned it himself, he's nervous, so that's part of being nervous like that. But he's talking about being open. Sometimes you see presenters, people that do public speaking, their hands often go like this. Why? Why do you think that is? Why is it?
Because they want to show that they are open to
Open for
feedback,
business,
settlement.
all inclusive,
Right.
embracing everybody.
Sharing,
That's
yeah.
part
My
of,
team.
yes, Yes, yes. So it's a good subtle point, but please keep that in mind because you're doing so well with the rest of it. The only thing that I can point out to you is this is what you gotta work on. We all gotta work on. This ORS, what does OR stand for? What does OR stand for?
Opportunity.
Opportunity, action,
Result.
result, statement. It's tough, especially off the cuff, to come up with these 4 concepts in a fluent, methodical, and really understandable way in your field. So that's something we all gotta work on, but that's, because you mentioned, I do this, I do that. See, you'll know at the end of the week that we don't wanna just say, what do we do? I stocked shelf in the store, and I sometimes clean the floor, and if the manager tells me, I'll also clean the restroom. Rather than, I stock the shelf so full every day, I like to do 10% more the next day. And you know, when I shine that floor, I like to buff it so hard like nobody has done before. I feel like I'm 100% on top of that. Always, you know, throwing that extra things, how you do it better than the next guy. So even if it's buffing the floor, how do you do it better than the next guy?
So a description of what I do would be helpful for all audience to understand. Is that what I get? Or
Yeah,
what I understand?
Yeah.
A description of what I've done in the past.
You can just say you've managed doctor's offices or whatever, and everybody will understand that.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
That'd be perfect, just say that.
That is part of it. How do I put into the business development of hospitals that I have also done? Can that, so it should be 2
Yeah,
different things?
yeah, so you can say you managed medical practices and you have developed medical practices or something like that.
Okay.
We can work on it together and make it after.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, thanks, Mohammed.
Thank you.
Who wants to go next?
Can I interject for one?
Please do, go ahead.
One question which I noticed, Mario is doing exceedingly well, but I want to interject, maybe I forgot. All of you will be tasked to do this. Now, I'm a physics major, so don't mind if I accentuate my talk with physics and chemistry and math. But it is very, very important. Everybody knows what you are doing. You have to stand out. And the key thing which you have to remember is this. You have to have lot of energy. I don't know if I can anything better here. And I'll quote here from Einstein, I know all of you love him. E equal to mc square. At 10 o'clock, I'll be singing a dance for you, Pharrell Williams, 2014. I'm happy. I got the song for you. You have to exhibit energy. C is velocity of light, 186,000 miles per second. Very important. I won't go into Einstein theory of relativity. He got Nobel Prize for this. Second thing, very important. You have to put percentage, you have to put dollar sign, you have to put time. Quantification is very important. Quantity, not quality. You have to tell, I did 2% increase. I conducted 10 products and I saved $10 million. People love that. That's it. So please remember, you must come with a lot of energy. I know you need job, you need money, everything. But trust me, we volunteer not to, you are doing a favor to us actually, so that I wake up. And the byproduct of helping you, I'm helping myself, so I sleep better in the night. So I don't have to make drug companies richer. You are my melatonin. So please remember, whenever you come here, I would be asking you this question. I want percentage, dollar, second, quantification. Thank you.
Okay, guys, we're running a little bit behind. Sometimes the side talk takes us away from the fact that we want to do the whole class. We can do 2 more and then we have to move on, okay? So volunteers, or we're gonna pick? Mary, please. Yes, you were up next, and you're next. Okay, thank you. The sheet that was going around, did everybody find their name? And check it off, please.
Does anybody have any trouble with us publishing your phone number on this? Because we'll make copies for everybody.
Mary, go ahead, please. We're running short of time. Please take your position.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I
checking.
didn't check if mine was correct.
Would you please?
All right. Let's do that at the break if you don't mind, because we're running behind already.
Good morning, my name is Mary
Hold on
Pye.
one second, please. Out of respect for whoever's at the head of the class, if others will please keep the side talk to a minimum, And if they want to share thoughts with somebody else, do it at a break or do it at a time. It's not fair to the person that's in the class. Please go ahead.
I can always talk over them.
No, please don't do that either. Please don't do that either.
My name is Mary Brunn, and I'm a hospitality specialist. If you have anyone who is in the entertainment business, hotel business, anything to do with travel and greeting and sharing your lives and likes with other people, I'm your specialist. For hotel reservations, concert reservations, anything along that line, I can tell you where to go for shopping, I can tell you where to go for dining. If you want a babysitter, I can even find that for you. So just keep me in mind. My name is Mary Brunn, and I'm a hospitality specialist.
Well done. Stay up, please. Stay up, stay up, stay up. First yourself, in 30 seconds. What do you think that you did well, very well? What do you think you have to improve on majorly?
I was not prepared.
Okay.
Okay,
It's all right.
so I fumpered.
Good point, yeah.
I don't like fumpery.
On the pluses?
On the pluses, I covered the things that I do. I asked for the order. And I gave you my title and what I do.
Good, okay. Anybody else? Comments, please? Positives and negatives?
Positive. You were not prepared, but it didn't sound like you weren't prepared. To me,
Thank you.
yeah, to me it was pretty well done,
Yeah.
and so and I got it what you're looking for. Just even though we didn't follow the structure, that structure is good, but actually I got it what you were saying. Just me.
Fair
Yeah.
point, very nice point,
Yeah.
yeah.
My occupation is so much different than anybody in this room.
Right.
Basically, I'm nice people. I just keep being nice to them.
I think you described it pretty well, you knew what you're doing,
Yeah.
what your job was.
All right, thank you, Mary. I won't mention time because you were under that good time. So you were in good time, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. I share with Rajesh's observation. Even though you think you weren't prepared, you didn't come across that way. You were natural. The only thing I would say, and I'm not a good role model on that, I stand like this, with this, light pointing in my eyes. Try to catch yourself doing that. And if you watch me doing it, that's not the right way of doing it. Step out of the limelight. We don't need you did it purely not knowing. Just when the projector light is on, try to avoid it and come stand to the side. It is going to be you covering this sheet, it's okay, it's this screen, or if you're too far to the right that way.
I like being in the spotlight.
Well, that was shining through, we knew that, but it's not the right thing to do. As a speaker, unless you are at such an accomplished level that you're speaking to a theater, 700 people or more, and the limelight is directly on you. Otherwise, we don't stand in front of the projector light. On the plus side, again, very natural, very confident, very, we got it. We got it right away what you were pointing into. Improvements, sure, every one of us, right? Ours. Opportunity, action, result, statement. Quantify. Ramesh was just saying all this fancy EMC squared. Quantify, please. Percentage. Often people say, well, where do these percentages come from? I can't just make up a percentage. Yes, you can. Who better judge of your industry and what percentage increases, percentage decreases, than you in your industry? Every one of us, in no matter what industry, and I know every one of us come up here and say, my industry is different than everybody else's. Yeah, it might be, but you can quantify it all the same. If I'm in the insurance business, I can use decrease, percentage, like attrition. Attrition is that word that insurance people, anybody insurance people here that know that word attrition? So you reduce attrition. Those of us who are in sales, business development, marketing, we always like to increase things, increase sales, increase gross margin. So increases are something people, and percentages, numbers are what people really are attached to, attracted to these days. If your resume, how many people have what they think is pretty good resume? Yeah? By the way, you know that they say resume is almost obsolete thing? It's almost an obsolete tool. Maybe in a year or two we won't even have resumes no more. It'll You just our LinkedIn, and it'll be our bios and several other pieces of case study and portfolios and things like that. In our resumes, those of us who think we've got a pretty good refined resume, have we got, just think about it. Do we have stuff that says, I did this, or I performed that? Or do we say, I decreased waste in my company XYZ by this percentage? And which one do you think sounds better? The second one, naturally, right? Because you're not just saying, I did something, but I did it in some kind of a number. And those numbers stand out. They catch people. They appeal to people's senses. They want to look at it. When on your resume you have some number like 45%. Now, I keep going to percentage because you can also have a raw dollar. But that raw dollar, in today's economy, all the numbers we hear, if it's not in the hundreds of millions and in the B for billion next to it, then, you increased sales, but by $50,000, big whoop. But if I turned that $50,000 in the grand scope of things, maybe it was 50% of my company's total sales, as an example. And I said 50%, which one do you think sounds more stronger and more like an achievement, right? The 50%. Okay, who volunteered? Whose hand was up next? Okay, please go ahead, Jason. And 30 seconds, whenever you're ready.
Hi, my name is Jason Chen. I'm effective software project manager. I manage software development and the system integration. For example, I help the Panasonic, the first EX3 program in-flight system on time and pass the customer acceptance test and recover from 6 months delay. And I also help Abu Dhabi to successfully launch the satellite operation in 3 years, and it recovered from the 2 years delay. Who do you know at Amazon and Google that need help to manage software development? I'm on LinkedIn, and I'll be happy to share my contact with you. Again, my name is Jason Chen, and I manage the software development and system integration.
Well done. Yourself, what do you think? Real quick. Pick yourself apart. Make yourself vulnerable.
I'm nervous, and also
It's okay, we all are.
I didn't really memorize my statement.
That's okay, you did a good job of referring to it, but putting it down. That was nice, okay? That didn't sound scripted. You're reading off a script. What do you think you have to work on? The major one thing.
I don't know.
The one point that you fumbled through or didn't do it, forgot it?
Not very smoothly.
No, that smoothly is all of us, common.
All right.
The or. This is one every one of us needs to practice this or. Friday afternoon with Bob Middleton. You guys were all here, right, for that? He, I think, hammered it home pretty good. Example after example. You guys did some yourselves, right? Okay? So that's the only thing. Everything else is good, all right?
Okay.
Thank you. Have a seat. Folks, unfortunately, I don't have time to go through every one of them. And every one of you, thank you for the ones that, bravely stepped up. It's never easy. The rest of you will get a chance, but we have to kind of soldier on. 56 seconds, by the way, so under a minute. In my books, if you're doing this under a minute, and listen, we have experts like Ramesh, who've been doing this for a long time, and other experts here. Some of us are stickler for time. We say 30 seconds, boy, gotta be 30 seconds. Maybe 35 seconds, maybe 25 seconds. I'm on the school of thought that if you run for 40 seconds, 45 seconds, but you're connecting. You are building that, what's that R word? Rapport. Why stop a good thing? Now, you can't ramble on and on and on, but why stop a good thing? And if your 30 seconds turns into 40 seconds, fine, no problem. I don't have a problem with that. 45 seconds, 50 seconds, even 50 seconds is borderline, okay? You can usually tell if the person is also making eye contact with you and really engaged with you. But the minute that person goes, and the dreaded iPhone and phone comes up, you've tuned them out. You've tuned them out, right? Okay, let's soldier on. Any questions about 30 seconds? And I know this is a work in progress. Folks, this is a work in progress for all of us. Common thing was, I was nervous. Sure, I'm nervous. Ramesh is nervous. It's natural to be, okay? The other thing we want to do a little bit more, folks, is offer help. I want to spend 30 seconds on that. Why do we offer help? Why is it important to offer help? Let's pick on someone who hasn't talked yet and shared with us yet. Brian, what do you think?
It's causing them to engage with you.
Yes?
So instead of, what can you do for me, it's what can I do for you? So it's, fair trade.
Why is that important?
Because you want to show that you're as engaged in them as they are in you.
Because what goes around comes around, right? Pay it forward. If you, and at first it might be mechanical, and Brian hit it on the head, it might be tough for us it may not be natural, but after a while, if it's genuine, if it's sincere, if it comes from the bottom of my gut, like right now, I'm not even looking for work. I'm looking to help you. How can I help you? Like Bob was saying, in order to better understand what your field is, so I can help you. Maybe I know somebody. And it could be from the janitor of that company, it's worth knowing everybody, all the way to the C-level executives. So Brian, absolutely right. The minute we offer our help, the minute we open ourselves up to do something for others before we receive, we give before we receive, we're creating even more possibilities. That's so important. All right. I think we've hammered 30 seconds pretty good. Let's move on. All right. So we talked about the schedule for the rest of the week. This is a full week course, folks. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday being mock interviews. First day with the touchy-feely HR type questions and scenarios. Second day supposedly with more of a technical geniuses and physicists and mathematicians who are hiring engineers who ask you all these, what is E and what is the equation that Einstein wrote, okay? So both sides is you gotta be prepared and well rehearsed to succeed on both sides. All right, 5 stages of job search real quick. Some of this is common sense, so we don't spend too much time on it. Is you, of course, personal preparation, professional preparation, job search and networking, interview preparation and interviewing techniques, and then follow-up. Of course it has to be in this order. Can we do follow-up first before we've done something like that in this stage? No. Can we do an interview without having really done our networking properly and job search properly and documentation properly? No. Okay? So there's a natural path here, common sense path, and really it starts with the personal preparation. So let's talk about that. Personal preparations are everything from attitude and psychology and just, that energy that we gotta find. And look, maybe we're not in a good spot right now. How many of us have lost work in the last 4 to 6 weeks? How many of us were last working 6 weeks to 2-3 months ago? How many of us have been out there looking for 6 months and more? Come on, don't be shy. So if I add it up together, then we have 100% of the class. Okay, so various stages of acceptance, denial, what's going on, do I have energy? Do I really want to do what I did before? Is that the right thing for me? Or do I need to get, cross-trained in something else? All of these questions. But again, what they have all in common is that we have to have the right attitude. We have to prepare some sort of, personal preparations. And starts with, having things like business card and, documentation, but more importantly, it's the attitude, it's the organization, and it's to connect with your support group. What does that mean, connect with support group? Can Teresa give me one example of what's connect with your support group, please?
Meeting with somebody in your support group, talking to them about your experience, what you're going through.
Sure. Who are those support groups? What is an example of a support group?
Yes, we're a support group.
Perfect answer. This right here is your support group. This is, folks, your accountability group, first and foremost, best support group. Later today, we're going to go through that exercise. Ramesh will have to start that. When you guys will pick, hopefully in a democratic way, a leader and a couple of assistant leaders, okay? Who will make sure that this group will stay together, will be accountable to each other, will keep pushing each other, inspiring, encouraging each other. That is your first and foremost support group. What's another support group, Mom? Support groups, example.
Your wife? probably?
Your wife, family, extended family, loved ones. Who better than your loved ones? Unconditional love that you have in your life. Hopefully, we all have that. Who will support us, will push us, will if we're one day just lethargic and we just don't, I was let go last Friday and today is, the second Monday after, and I'm like, I don't even want to get up. My wife comes in. Come on, honey, you need to get going. That's the best, right? Other support groups could be your professional organizations, peers, and professionals in your field who maybe you have not connected with them yet. We're going to stress so much later on in these courses that you need to connect with them. They need to know you, you need to know them. Even more importantly these days than you need to know them, they need to know you, okay? And what is a good example? I know this is jumping the gun probably by 2 days into the training. What is a good example place for not just them knowing you, you knowing them, or vice versa? What's a good place? LinkedIn. Thank you. Okay, manage your time. So important. Like I'm probably a poor manager of time right now. I don't know. 9:30. Sometimes when I open up the class like that, I like to make myself vulnerable. Rather than have a structure that you guys will not step outside of that structure, I will break the structure and then I'll try to rebuild it with you guys. But that's when it's hard to quickly make sure everything is back in place. Stage 1 of personal preparation is emotional intelligence. There's IQ, folks, and then there's EQ, right? Carla, you haven't shared with us that much yet. You've got a lot of knowledge, which I appreciate. But what is an example of IQ or EQ, and how do you explain that? Go ahead, cheat on it if you want. And what does that mean? So it says emotions and attitudes that are wrapped up in your job transition have significant consequences to your ability to connect, create, and be successful. What does that mean? Lily, what does that mean to you?
All the stuff you're going through while you're looking for a job, like you're worrying about if you have enough money and how soon you're going to find a job, or like if you have family, kids, everything that's going on in your life while you're looking for a job.
Sure. So those are the emotions. But the emotional intelligence now, as it relates to all the things that you rightly said so, is how well you adopt and how will you kind of react to that and how will you embrace the adversity and try to change it, turn it around and all of that. That's the emotional intelligence quotient as opposed to the IQ, the regular intelligence, how well I can do math or physics or mechanical things. And my IQ is, 198. Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to say actually they have one common thing I think, and that's actually because emotions are energy.
Absolutely, yes, yes, yes. Top psychologists are nowadays saying that, hey, this could be just as important, if not more important, than IQ. How many Einsteins do we know? Not just the big Albert Einstein, but many baby Einsteins in our lives who are brilliant people in the field. But maybe one or two, cards shy of a full deck. Not everything all together. So these days it's proving that being well-rounded overall, sociable, communicative, being able to relate, empathetic, these words, guys, I know 3 years ago if you ask somebody, especially an engineer, you need to know empathy. You have to have compassion. What? What nonsense are you talking about, These days we know it's so important to be able to relate to people, right? Now, your emotional intelligence, which you can strengthen, is a gauge of how your negative thoughts, you navigate, you navigate through life and apply your social skills. We talked about it, okay? So if I'm one-dimensional and I'm just like, yeah, I'm great at doing what I'm doing, just give me a job and everybody leave the room and I'm gonna do this job at the best possible that anybody can do. Is that good enough these days? We all have to work in teams. The greatest discovery of my generation is that a human being can alter his life by altering his attitudes of mind. Who said that? William James. Who's William James? All right, so Daniel Goleman, who is a psychologist,
Yeah.
goes on to say 80% of your success at work and in our personal lives is based on EQ, not RQ. Okay, so there's one so-called expert's viewpoint, very strong viewpoint. 80%, right? Emotional intelligence provides the ability to understand yourself and others. Empathy, feelings, thoughts, and actions. Have optimistic outlook. Demonstrate motivation and persistence. All these beautiful words, right? How many people buy into this? Honestly, let's be honest with each other and let's talk about this for 30 seconds. In other words, is there anybody in this room, and it's okay, let's discuss it, that thinks this is just a bunch of gibberish? Hogwash, and really, if I'm a brilliant engineer and I know how to design something, I have to find that job and just leave me alone. I don't need no team, I don't need no emotions, I don't need no support group, and I'll do it. Just give me the opportunity. Do you think that has a place in this world anymore?
No.
What is it?
I was gonna say, this probably strongly depends on the job.
Okay, so let's talk about that. You're one of those people that says strongly depends on the job. So give me an example of a job where you think this is not that important.
It's not, and basically what I'm saying is, this collection of qualities wouldn't, in total, qualify you for many, many jobs.
Can you give me an example?
Including some of the jobs, the technical jobs that you may see around here.
That's okay. We can hash it out. We can hash it out. So, example. Do the technical people in this room agree with that statement?
I just indicated no.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. President, what comments do you have on that? Yeah.
Well, okay, maybe once upon a time, what you said is true, but now with so many thousands of applicants applying for the same job, they're gonna pick the person they like. And if you have this, they'll like you better.
The likability factor. That's a very important one. Yes.
I think everything actually what we do, each one is actually just a link in a chain. It doesn't matter where you are, like small company, bigger company, and so on. So basically everything what we do, it's about relationships.
Yeah.
Right.
And this is really the basis
Yeah.
for any relationship,
Yeah.
because I read a couple of books of Daniel Goleman,
Yeah.
and one of the first thing, if you remember that basic quadrant,
Yeah.
it says, the only thing that you can really change is yourself.
Yeah.
And most people actually don't start with that, they start expecting
Good point.
that they change someone else, and that comes up in any meetings.
Thank you. So Larry, I think at the end you said, I already know that, so you're already buying into this, right? Or do you still have some counterpoints? Because we like to hear about it and we like to discuss it.
I'm not saying it's not important, I'm just saying that it's gonna vary a lot on what your job is. And
okay, so let me give you an example and you tell me if this is what you think is, because you were saying technical people that, I was in a company that the engineering team was really good. They were a bunch of brilliant people. They knew how to design a product. On the marketing side, we loved that we have such a brilliant team, but we begged, pleaded, and made case after case with them to please, let's hurry up with the product to market. Let's give us all the finished product, give us the specifications so we can go to market with it. Because if we snooze, we lose. In electronics and technology, it's all, as the rest of you who are in this field know, that if you're not one of the first people, you lose, right? And that key ingredient, that communication, that part of teamwork, and I'm not saying it was just marketing that had it and they didn't have it on the engineering side, but something was not clicking. Something was in this communication, this teamwork was not there. As a result, we missed deadlines. We did not get the deadlines that we set for ourselves to be able to be successful. Product would not go in time to market and would not enjoy the kind of market share and margins that we would let, and then 2 years later we're wondering why we have a product that's at best maybe breaking even, not making profit. Communication was missing, buying into a teamwork concept was missing, emotionally vested and having some, these brilliant engineers, some of them were emotionally void.
Exactly. That's what I
Emotionally
was saying.
void, not part of the team, okay? I work at my pace. Don't tell me you have, September 1 deadline. I have to fine tune this product, and if it means October 30th, it is October 30th. There was a disconnect somewhere. But somebody's phone is ringing, that's mine. Love to do as I say, not as I do, right? Sorry about that, folks. All right, moving on.
One interjection.
Yes, sir.
You can bring the previous slide.
Yes.
Optimism is very, very important to all of you. Never feel depressed. Unless you want to make drug company rich and you want to take all these medications, but then you should own the stock of Pfizer and Merck and all those things. Otherwise, volunteer, come up. Optimism is very important. And people who are criticizing you, they are your best friend. You know why? Because they are bringing out the worst in you. Take that as a constructive criticism and build on that. But if somebody tells you, Vesha, send me your resume. Larry, be strong. Those are the people, shun them. Take 3 left turns to avoid them. U-turn. People you will find right here in accountability group. I have developed 3-4 people, I talk to them twice a day. One last caveat on optimism is, everybody contributes to society. Optimists, they invented aeroplane. And you know what pessimists did? They invented parachute. Both are important. So remember, you have to have Pollyanna attitude. There is nothing like no in this world. Moment you say no, you will fall from Mount Everest at 29,000 feet to 30,000 feet below in Mariana Trench. There is nothing like that. Be on ground, be firm, be optimistic.
All right, thank you. Very important, optimism, yes. Love that example of airplane versus parachute. Okay, so I'm no psychologist, so I go through this real quick, but I try to just understand the common sense and convey the common sense aspect of this slide. Look, this whole mumbo jumbo of emotional intelligence and how to be psychologically in tune with it, it starts with self-awareness. I mean, obviously, if we can fit inside our own skin, we're happy, we're content, we've reached a point where, yeah, this has happened to me, big whoop, it's also happening to millions of other people in this great country of ours. It's a fact of life. How do I pick the pieces and go from here? Self-awareness is where it starts first. Then social awareness. This business says that we are in teams, we are in social life. Look, if I can't stand Ramesh, if he can't stand mine, if we can't work as a team together, we might have our differences. We do, it's healthy to have our differences. But when we come to this team, when we come to this class to do the Monday mornings for you, we're a team. We're a cohesive team that sees eye to eye on things, that wants to have the common goal of helping you, inspiring you, encouraging you along. So social awareness. As a side to the, as a result of self-awareness comes self-management. First I gotta be aware, then I can hopefully manage myself. And then manage others and social skills. So all of us who aspire to be managers and directors and leaders, can we really manage ourselves first? Let's look at that first. How well do we manage ourselves before we want to lead others? This business that we're leading, yeah, we're all leaders. I beg to differ. Not everybody's a leader. I'm not a leader. Do you think it's easy to lead? We can aspire to be leaders. managers. We can work towards that end. It all starts in that quadrant right there. So, did I skip a couple? Yeah. So this nice lady too, some sort of a psychology expert. 5 stages of grief loss. Yeah, there's first denial. No, I didn't get fired. I didn't get laid off. I quit. Oh no, wait a minute. No, I didn't even quit. I like my job. It's just something happened to the industry. So one excuse, one reason, one scenario after another of denial. That probably lasts anywhere from a week to a month for most people, right? How many people had a week of denial and that was it? How many people had no denial? I know for a fact what's happened. It was just, it was right. How many people, months go by, weeks go by, still in denial? No, it didn't happen. Didn't happen. Those evil guys, I'm doing just great. Sorts of, all kinds of different versions of denial, right? Anger, frustration, bargaining and compromising and self-doubt and all this stuff that I'm no good, 25 years in that business. How did I even succeed in that field? 25 years? No, I'm no good. How many of us want to go through transition, cross-training into being something else? We want to change our careers. Come on. I sometimes have those thoughts, right? Good. Thank you for raising your hand. Is there an element of self-doubt? That's why we want to do that? Sure there is. Sure there is. Is it justified? Sure, some of it is justified. But there could be also an angle that's not justified. That self-doubt is just so important, that it's so eating away at us, that we want to get into something else and not really aware, really, of our strengths even. How many people know of something called Strength Finder? There's a book, there's also a test, there's a whole world of knowledge behind it. Mary, in 20 seconds, can you tell us what Strength Finder is?
I don't know of it.
Raise your hand.
I've heard of it.
Oh, okay. Anybody else knows Strength Finder? What it does? What is it, Brian? Please tell us.
It's just a self-assessment book. There's a variety of different editions of it. So it just kind of helps you find what your strengths are in life or anything.
Why you click, why you are who you are. Excellent, yes. Not dissimilar to Myers-Briggs. People know Myers-Briggs here?
Yes.
Okay. Not dissimilar. Have you taken it, Brian? Does anybody know?
I've read one of the books.
Okay. I've taken it. Have you taken it, Ramesh?
Yes,
Yes,
I
you have. Folks, I like to highly recommend it, endorse you taking it. Buy the book, Strength Finder 2.0 on Amazon, I'm sure. What is it, $19.95, $9.95?
Yeah, it varies between $14 to $19.
Yeah, and it's online testing that's available as a result of you having a key, product key, and then you can go. It is accurate, folks. Do you find when you did it, the results was accurate reflection of you?
Yeah, it was pretty much okay.
Yeah.
And Mario brought a good point. It is from the Gallup polls. They do this for 220 countries, 140 million people. It is an investment. If you think Mario's suggestion is good, if you think you should buy a book, it can be only used one time.
One time. Yeah, with that book, with that one product key, one-time usage. Yes, of course, everything that we say, me and Ramesh will say, is reflective of our opinion. We're not forcing it down your throat. We're not endorsing it because we're vested in that company. I have no business with Gallup. Gallup is the company behind Strength Finder. They're no cousins of mine. I have no desire to push them. But I took it just recently, and I'd originally taken it about 2 years ago. At that time, I didn't think it was, I hadn't bought into the program. I hadn't read about it. This time around, I invested some time and energy and thought into it and said, you know what? I want to do it exactly, and the answer's got to be quick, instinctively, almost reactively. If you think about the answers, folks, you're cheating yourself. When you take that test, remember that. And you'll be surprised how accurate it is. I like to, if any of you do it, before this week is over, when I see you again later on in the week, I'd like to know what you think of it, and whether you would like the results that come of it. Anyways, that was a little
Yeah,
side talk.
one more point to add to Mario, he brought a good point. And he brought another good point. Whatever we say here, it is not reflection on any one of you. It is our personal story. We don't want to go through like a robot to go through these slides. We want to interject our feelings. You should also do the same thing. Now talk to your counselor. You must be having some counselor, right? Each one of you? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Then you should go to the front desk, ask for a counselor. Sometimes you can get that book free. We do not know the rules and regulations. But many things are paid by the government because you have already paid for 20 years.
Well, not everybody is eligible to talk to a counselor, but what he's saying is if you're eligible, if you're part of the EDD program, then yes, there's all these other resources available to you. Some aren't, some are already time bound.
Ask for help.
example, yeah.
It is available.
So depression, hopelessness, these things come in, and hopefully we all get to this stage where we accept it. We accept what's happened. It is what it is. You move on. There are no mistakes, no coincidences. All events are blessings given to us to learn from, and that is a very spiritual, philosophical point of view, but from a practical point of view too, it speaks to our optimism. Optimism about, look, pick up the pieces and go from here. All right, so there's other stages of transition. It's not just job loss or job, got fired or terminated or laid off, whatever. Divorce, career change, financial, natural disaster. Hey, I'm still waiting, dreading, not waiting, dreading. Just sometimes I get obsessed. What if that 6.9 hit, 7.9 hit here in Southern California? Do you think we're ready? We're overdue? I wouldn't scare you, but wouldn't that be a quick transition of everything? Think about it. All right? Illness, relocating. How many of us are dealing with issues? Illness. Ourselves, our family, somebody. Just eats away at your health, mental health, physical health, your distractions. You can't even, how can you work when you have illness issues? So there's all these issues to deal with. Death, the ultimate illness, death, when that comes. All right, misunderstood feelings. We're never angry because of what others have said or done. It's all inside of us. It's all our thoughts, our perceptions, our take on Ramesh did this to me, therefore I'm mad at him. Let's pause, take a step back. It's my interpretation of what he has said or done. Of whether he's sitting like this is tuning me out. That's my perception. That doesn't mean that he's being disrespectful. Someone else is on the phone. Does that mean, they're making a statement to me or the rest of you? No. These are our perceptions. These are our feelings about actions, about people. So it's complicated, folks. Marshall B. Rosenberg, a nonviolent communicator, said that. I could probably put a couple of statements about Gandhi. Anybody watch Gandhi? I recently watched Gandhi again. What a movie. Ben Kingsley, the one that served Ben Kingsley in the 80s, won an Oscar for. What a brilliant reflection of a brilliant man. The nonviolent, the concepts of peace and, inner peace that he had. For example, if someone arrives late for an appointment, and we need reassurance that they care about us, we may feel hurt. If instead our need is to spend time purposefully and constructively, we may feel frustrated. But if our need is a few minutes of quiet solitude, what does that mean? Do you see it? It just depends on what each individual interprets out of every event in life, in daily routine life. Our emotional response comes from our thoughts and needs about the situation, not on the situation itself. Attitude adjustment, setting the foundation for your job search. The cheer process. Here we go, acronyms, start. We haven't thrown in acronyms at you already, like ORS, and some of us from the old days, they keep saying PARS. Did you hear PARS? People can't kick that old habit. PARS used to be problem, Action, result statement, now it's changed to opportunity. Opportunity is more politically correct than saying problem. Now here's a new process we're introducing to you. Cheer! Cheer up, everybody! Clarify the event. Honor your feelings. Examine. CHEER. Receive the results. Hopefully it works at that order. Heather Wishlow, Turning Point Coaching and Consulting, said this, and permission is granted to us to use these people's as sayings. Ouchie, what happened here? Honor your present core feelings. What feelings do you experience when you think about the event? Fear, frustration, anger, depression, feelings of unworthiness, anxiety, and confusion. All of the above. Examine the learning of what benefits do the core feelings bring you. Example, someone might say, the benefits I gain from feeling unworthy are reframing how I evaluate myself, learning how to accept myself fully and unconditionally, taking healthy risks and stretching myself, looking at where I... So these are examples of how one deals with question of unworthiness. Any other examples come to mind? Anybody? Anybody home? Are we awake? Bob was suggesting maybe a pot of coffee. Hey, that's a good marketing thing, right? Us marketing guys. Yeah, of course, it's not going to be free. We'll put a Starbucks Java potty over here, and then hey, $1.25 a cup. Yes, ma'am.
Well, when it's cold in the room, you wanna.
Is it cold? Are you guys cold?
Yes.
I was just going to say, thank God it's peachy.
The cold air, I'll put you
Was
to
it?
sleep.
Well, I was gonna say, maybe
I'm freezing.
none of us is in this room or in this situation right now, I don't know. They don't,
I think.
This is just an
I think
example
we're all
of
past
feeling of
that,
unworthiness.
And that's
Yeah.
why we're all here.
Yeah, I think we
we've
passed
all
that.
we've all gone through those steps, and
Okay.
now we're here to say, okay,
Excellent,
we're here to
excellent.
move on. I
The
know.
clue I'm getting from these two comments is that we should move on. Okay, let's do that for the sake of time too. All right. Nevertheless, the slides are what they are, so we can't skip it. Otherwise, we can just say, okay, forget about slides, let's all talk. You know, unstructured.
Let's go to work.
All right, thank you, good comments. All right, right, staying alive, we're alive still, so let's move on. Motivating, exciting, striving to do better. Yeah, we're not kids. We don't need to be lectured to. That's the other thing, folks. We have, I'm taking a side street right off the bat here into some uncharted territory. We will give you, if we haven't already given you, an evaluation sheet. Have you already received the evaluation sheet first day? Do you have it in your binders and whatnot?
But we filled it out and submitted it.
Yes, exactly. And there'll be one for today. You know, the reasons why we do this is obvious, right? What I'm going to stress to you, and perhaps you won't hear this from anybody else in this fashion, please be brutally honest. Tell us if, sorry for the French language here, if I suck, if I don't know what I'm talking about, if I'm totally useless. Somebody, actually, you know what? Forget about somebody. I need to know. And I'll be the first ones. I'll be one of the first ones to just, you know, say thank you. And maybe this is not for me. Maybe this is the wrong kind of volunteerism for me, right? And it's a waste of your time and my time. But if you don't, and if we're all trying to be yes men and give each other 5s all the way, or 7s, or whatever the highest number is, and there's nothing to improve on, and that doesn't just apply to me, so I'm not just appealing to myself for this course in the Ramesh, but all 5 days to all instructors. If we encourage you to just say nice things about us, does that really help us? If you think the quality of the training, the content, the delivery, each individual slide, we would even appreciate you taking a note of the slide. The slides, by the way, do have numbers. When you have the printout in front of you, you can make comments about each slide. This slide is totally ineffective, doesn't belong, it's a waste of time. Let us know your feelings about that, your thoughts about that, and hopefully the program will just be better on moving forward, okay? Enough said. Tools for transition, yeah, there's all these tools, physical, mental, emotional. you know where this is going. You know, again, common sense, exercise, breathing exercise, meditate. I think, do you have an example on that, Ramesh? You sometimes mention some things about.
Certain things I would tell here is exercise is very, very important. If you don't have health, all those things have no value, trust me. You have seen people in wheelchair, I used to volunteer at one of the places, they are just waiting to die, means they were also just like you and us. So what you are doing today will reap profit and awards and benefits after 10, 15 years. In my case, very simple. I love water. I'm a fish. So early morning, 6 o'clock, I get up. I've never taken hot water shower, and I'm definitely above 19. I just plunge into pool, it doesn't matter. So many things, my body is conditioned, it doesn't matter whether I live or not. Exercise is very important. Form a group exercise, walk, exercise, anything. Breathing exercises are very good. People get excited. In 2001 when I got laid off, I was depressed. And after that I felt, hey, where am I going in life? Luckily I landed a job, but it is the worst thing you can do sitting at home. Breathing exercises, do yoga, meditation. I will give you right down here. They are all free. All informations are free in this world. Most things are free in the world. And I will write down here SARATHI.org. It is in Irvine, California, free yoga. There is a gentleman from India, he doesn't want any money from anybody. You come, it is free for 2 to 3 hours. He pays for room and everything. So use them, everything is free, you don't have to pay anybody. Sarthi means the charioteer of Lord Krishna in Hindu, but that is the name he took, driver. Meditate, very important. Relaxation, you know, just stretch out. Take power nap. Laugh, you know, laughter a day keeps the doctor away, whatever you say. Last one which I'll tell you is get hugs and physical touch with your loved ones. Volunteer, I always tell. And one more important thing is get a good night's sleep. Get a good night's sleep.
Folks, sorry to
Then
interrupt.
I'll open to the floor. Yeah.
Quickly, the first sheet that I handed you was the wrong one, sorry. The mustard one. The mustard one coming around is the right one. Rajesh, thank you for thinking about filling that out, but as it doesn't relate. So can I get all of these back? I'll pass it around. Just pile it on here and then have it come back. The white one that I handed to you is the wrong one. The mustard one is the correct one. Thank you, Ramesh. That was interesting because I know Ramesh has this, know-how about the deep breathing techniques and anything just to get our mind feeling at ease and accepting of possibilities that are yet to come. Okay? Laughter, I love that. Apple a day and a laugh a day. Yes, ma'am.
One of the things that happened to me, I've always wanted to volunteer at the animal shelter. Never had time.
Yes.
I have found that so rewarding. I go there. I am there at 8 o'clock in the morning to walk the dogs, clean their kennels, feed them. All the dirty jobs.
Can you tell us why? Can you tell us
love
practically
everything.
why you think that is what it is? Have you thought about why it is such a fulfilling thing?
I am giving to someone else. I am giving to a helpless little four-legged creature that somebody has thrown off along the road.
Exactly. And someone who doesn't have a voice for him or herself, a cat, a stray dog, another pet. It's a fulfilling thing once this emotional giving back, this business of contributing to some other being starts flowing. It makes you feel so good. That's a very good point about animal shelters. So again, I apologize. The mustard color evaluation is the right one for our EUI training purposes. The white one was the OC whip thing for the Greater Center. All right, moving on. Are we at the break point yet, or where do you want to
Yeah,
call
I
it?
would like to take a break if this is the right point, but yeah.
Sure, so let's do what, 15 minutes?
Yeah.
We usually do 10 to 15 minutes, folks. Again, I ask you to please be understanding of our time, and we want to kind of revene back here, regroup at 10:20, 10:25, and get going on time. Thank you very much. All right, any questions? Yes.
Thank you, Mario. Yes, ma'am. Once you go there, everything is send me to the everything explain this one.
An example,
Best.
There's no other way to.
you haven't got handout number one.
Once you go to the website,
There's no
sometimes
number.
you find different places.
There are page numbers.
But it is in Irvine.
Full-time page numbers. And then there's this
Good people in the web.
9.6.1, that's like a date.
These are the ones you got on Friday.
Those are Fridays.
I've got everything I got anywhere.
Okay, I hear that point and want to address that.
One more person
Let me come back so that the whole group knows. Let me just deal with Carl.
So,
Yes, yes.
who would be able to help me work on my 30-minute elevator speech? Because I have.
30 second.
30 second.
30 minutes would be really on the long side.
No,
We all can. Your accountability group can, Ramesh can, I can.
I'm in
Just
transition
find the right
of
time.
what I used to do, what I want to do, and so some of the things, it's like, as a product manager, it could be any industry,
Yeah.
it could be something, how do I choose two companies?
Sure.
So there are certain questions that
I can spend a couple of minutes with you right now, but let me just take the other question and then we'll go from there. Yes.
Just a quick question. When do we hand in our assignments?
Oh, at the end of the day, we're going to ask for it.
All right, and somehow I missed bringing the resume, so.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna hand
Well,
that
the
in
resume
tomorrow.
is important because the ORS that you wrote was
based on
related to
that.
that resume.
Right.
So we need to see that resume to be able to put the ORS and the resume together. So if you want, hang on to everything until tomorrow, when you have the resume, then hang on.
Which is funny, because I did all the classes,
Yes.
and I have to do the resume hero, and you go in there, and how resume hero put it together.
Yeah.
That's
That's through the
it was
workshops and the
horrible.
Senate,
I was
right?
just like going, this is, so it's funny, because and then I met with the critique, and they say something else, and then you go here, and they
It
say
feels like
something else, and
every
you're
group
like.
says something else, right?
Yeah, and it's hard to kind of, figure out, because you're consistently being critiqued, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But if you're getting different critiques,
Yes,
at
then-
some
then
point,
there's
it's
no
very
cohesive.
confusing.
Question, when you're talking about this resume, passes the workshop at the Senate? Yeah, I understand. I'll address that too, that's very important. Okay, so let's do this. I'm gonna come right back to you here.
Yeah, well, luckily, I got on my computer, so that I had an email, and then I was going to print it, and sure enough, 4 pages, I read it. I haven't ever had nothing, so I couldn't put it in. Just print it up today, because there is also for Tuesdays and Wednesdays, but it's 23 pages, and unfortunately, my computer doesn't do 2 sides. So I'm like, great, well. But
I don't know what the problem is, but our printer seems to use up the ink really fast. I don't know why. And I don't know if
I'll tell you,
Wanna
printers
use that
nowadays
ink.
are so, they're much more efficient and they're much more cheaper. It's almost cheaper to buy a new printer than it is to buy the stupid cartridges that you have to, to put in.
probably what we need to do.
That's amazingly just about a perfect assessment of
Yeah.
that point, because they charge so much for the ink.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So you're almost better off investing in
And of course they
in
make-
a good printer.
They make it so that the ink from this printer doesn't fit the ink from this printer or this
Right,
printer.
right. But they also do have high efficiency ink cartridges now. So I find, and what I do is on my ink cartridge, I just with a Sharpie put the date on there, just so I kind of know, because my daughter was doing her master's program, so she was like running through my ink, she was printing every piece. Finally, I went, no. And I made her buy me a new ink cartridge, but they do last much longer, the efficiency ones.
How much more do they cost?
Not too bad, maybe $10 more, but you get twice as much. You know, you can spend $20, say, on a cartridge, and you'll get 500 sheets. Or if you pay $10 more, you'll get 1,500 sheets.
I think when my husband gets one, I think it's like $40 or $50.
Yes, it depends, but I'm just saying the economies of scale, you're paying a little bit more, but you're getting twice the amount of ink.
I just realized that I hate that you made this, some of this stuff, so some of the things that is coming from, came to us at the email and I didn't print because I have my own problems with changing from computer A to B.
It suggested printing at
I can't go for
the three
Oh, yeah,
up.
yeah,
four.
finish it, yeah.
And-
4, if they would be 4, it would be, probably wouldn't be 3. I don't think there
Well,
is a 3 out of 3 is fine.
I think I understand now what it is, but I don't know. And with the different emails, it looked like there was, somebody had emailed that he was going to print out the handouts for today's workshop. So, I never,
Oh, yeah, so one way or the other, we'll know what we have and what we need, or, that's really what I'm getting at.
I don't know if I'm gonna print out any of them. I'll just take notes.
Yeah.
I was, doing the assignments early this morning.
I should have a full confession. But I got up early enough to give myself time to do, even hunting for the stuff that I wanted to bring. One of the big problems is that because if I was looking for like an evaluation or something like that for a whole year, I've been working enough. Let's see, 33 years before I ever had any time off. But I had a lot of time off. And it was all because I chose not to go to South Carolina. My company wanted me to do that.
That's what you were
I
saying
should
on
have.
Friday.
My wife said, why didn't you ask me? I'm pretty sure she wouldn't have moved. But she said, why didn't you ask me? She might have had it in mind. It's perfectly fine for you to move to South Carolina and leave me. That doesn't matter. Your social services wouldn't let us leave the kids with my wife. Okay, so just probably spend a couple minutes if you want right now. I mean, this is something that probably requires us at least 5-10 minutes of undivided attention. But I can How do you bring me to the slideshow? What did I press?
Oh, no, go click on the slideshow button on the computer itself. Just put the mouse on here, down there in the slide. No, two more, excuse me. One more, yeah, click. There you go. Okay. So this is your resume. Let me ask you this. And again, this will sound like it's different than others have said, hopefully not. You have many resumes. This is how resumes. Every job has a specific job description. Resumes for the job description.
You know, it's much warmer
Do you
in
have
the
one
elevator.
generic?
No, yes and no. I
But-
had to do a different one.
I thought this was warm enough.
This one was the
It's
latest
not.
one that just came off of Resume Hero. I know personally,
Is it just one page?
I have here, I have
That's
all
what you've written
ways.
based on this.
Well, that's one of my problems. This is what I was doing prior to Pareto when I was in that company. I then was opening a hair salon for my husband and myself for 11 years, and we did it. Then I was like, oh, crap, I gotta get back to it, but we sold the business, I said, gotta get back into the job. Didn't have the technologies.
They have a no-kill store.
So I ended the job as a
No,
breakfast.
Irvine. Irvine Animal Care Center. It's on, Valley Oak, right off of Sandburg. In Irvine. And I just thought such a good
I was going to get out, so now, but if I'm using
I was
those stuff,
looking at
that
that
this is really
normally.
not what I wanna do, I'm not the type of board, I don't really.
I, well, it's on Tuesday and Thursday.
Really easy for you. I'm not saying don't use any of these, I'm saying use everything.
I had to put my glasses down
In the background, starting with the most recent.
almost 2 years ago.
And
And
condense it into
these were I am to draw.
this is what I had some management.
I moved to California, well, I got a job and I filled it self-business. Then I moved to California.
Purchasing.
But I didn't do any of that stuff, and that's
Then
why
I got
when
another
they
one.
said it's not working, I
I
was
was
like,
18.
There's some step work.
Yeah.
That's where you have to think.
And the last year, it was like, anyway,
Single, dual.
nothing.
every time I
For
go
18
there,
months, it was a
I find another dog I want
And
to adopt.
that's why when they said it was not working, I was like,
I'm sorry to hear that. Okay.
And
I had already started
thankfully,
to think about.
before I have a chance to get in,
So forget about that.
Yes.
So forget about it.
you're adopted. I
Think about it.
No, and that's what I did, I did a lot of course, I increased our reserves, our reserve study for one of our, the biggest, was doing the largest association.
That's right.
One of the things is.
See, I've always had hounds. I've never
After,
gone
we ended up developing a holistic
to a pet
evaluation.
store.
Reserves for the
I go to the animal shelter, I find strays
You
somewhere.
take this accomplishment, and you dress it up in purple, and you make it even more efficient.
They are so unconditional.
Or,
And I, it's not telling you the other stuff that I ended
that's
up
okay, that's just one. That's just one. See, you have to have many ors. That's just one or. And one, now, the other question was, you want to know how to translate the components into your
I see what.
So this is.
which you don't not You take maybe 1, 2 words.
I mean, I was moved to
These
think
things
that
go into your.
where cats are more
And
innocent.
I run my own,
See?
well, so I have my project and business management.
Good.
I organize development processes, reduce cost, increase revenue.
The last one was long
You replace that first statement right off the bat with a
Absolutely. And Jordan.
quantified.
3 weeks.
But I wait Put something percent.
Somebody always came in and stayed.
Yes, yes, please do.
And so then,
Can we
I came home and
I'm willing to stay here.
you're, he was gonna go.
But think about this key thing. We are
Considering
percentage. My grand after.
Right.
Try to walk, haven't been
I would love to, but right now, because in respect to class starting again, afterwards, please see me and then I'll be happy to start.
But it was funny because I think, of course, I was working an hour every morning. And but what they do,
That was a pretty cool song.
I learned it when somebody else presented it, and I just downloaded it. Okay, now before we start some of the things, I would like you to fill out this as quickly as possible. It need not be right first time. Branding. How do you brand yourself as? Not just like somebody mentioned, engineer, healthcare professional. Be more pinpointed. If it is wrong, it is okay. Then I'll make a copy of this. Do you have any objection if this phone number is also shared by everyone?
No.
Anybody objection? Because it is that you have objection, then my suggestion is, why don't you block out here? And block out with, in such a way that nobody can see it. That is okay with me. You want to block? Sure.
This is my information.
You can correct it. Take this one. Huh? We want to quickly go over, we have to cover a lot of slides. And I also want you to participate. I'm not going to talk too much. I want you guys to come up with ideas. Because that is the whole aim. So you are awake. Stretch out here. This is the yoga mat. You can come here and do some calisthenics. I have no problem. Okay, so who is the, before that, let me share with my this thing. I'll pass on my email. You can write down, because I'm a lazy person. I hate to write. I only brought about 6 to 8 copies of my resume, how I do my things. It is one of the ways. I'm not saying this is the best way. So you can keep one, you can pass on one each. This is the way I do things. You can also share yours. Then, quickly, till I get job, I started buying these lotto tickets, and hopefully I'll win someday, and I'll share my fortune. In the meantime, I'm giving you a Super Lotto Plus. Please write down the date when you want to land a job, and put it on your refrigerator.
Right now.
Yeah, right now. Yeah. Ideally, I don't want to see any of you by Friday at all. You should all land a job. So write down the date when you want to land a job. You can always change the date.
Extra.
Yeah.
What on earth?
Okay. Yes.
Oh, we don't have any more.
Yeah, I only bought 8 to 10. You want this? I'll give you one more. Sure.
Do we want to put our names on it too?
No, it is for you. I don't need anything back.
Oh, okay.
Everything I've given you is for you, for your consumption.
Date to land job.
Yeah. We have to motivate each other. If there are better ways, let us know. Now coming back to this. Anybody needs more rest, exercise, meditation? No. Let's go through, I call it crazy math of Ram Lohia, and that is where I want to emphasize on you accountability group. And I want it from you people to come up. What is 1 plus 0? Any volunteers? What is 1 plus 0?
1.
Pardon? 1. Very good. Congratulations.
Or 10 if you add if you put a 1 in it.
What is 0 plus 1?
Or 0 if you multiply.
1.
Pardon?
1.
1. Okay. 1. Okay, now I want from somebody else. What is 1 plus 1?
2.
Pardon?
2.
2. Can you say it again? Are you
11.
very good? That is what I wanted to know. Because if you say 1 plus 1 is 2, then you are all wrong. You have to go back to mathematicians again. This is 1 plus 1 is, it is not 2. You know why? Because once you form a group, it becomes a pair of legs. They call it 11. And that is where you can walk. Imagine if you don't have legs, what will you do? Your life will be very difficult. So this is the power of accountability group. And this is known as fuzzy logic or fuzzy math. So you have to form a group and you will become partner professionally for entire life. You can communicate